what's going on, everybody? It's Ethos here, part of Gaming Illuminaughty. I ain't been here a minute, but I'm back. And today, I got a bunch of weird people with me, and they want to talk and bitch about Justice League. So I'm going to let them go ahead from the top. We got clocking in with all the trades. We got Ace.
Hello, everybody. What's up?
Cool. And my fellow Detroitian? We got Blitz.
Detroiter, I guess.
Whatever. Detroitian, whatever.
A nigga from Detroit. There you go.
A nigga from Detroit. Not another nigga. Yeah, there's more than just me. We got this nigga JG, Grumpy the Don. What up?
This nigga JG.
All right, and then we got some Super Saiyan in here. Marty, what up, dog?
What's good, people?
And then we got the Black Hoagie.
Hey.
All right,
very casual warm up.
Look, we here to talk about Justice League. I'm only here because I ain't been here in a minute, and
here not to get
y'all know why I'm here.
Y'all know why I'm here. So I'm gonna I'm gonna let y'all bitch and complain to each other about this movie while I just sit back and enjoy myself. All right, good luck.
Wow.
Oh my god, you're
Ace, go ahead, start.
You're a terrible MC. How about we let's start the conversation with this? Did anybody have any expectations going into this movie?
No.
They were low.
I had one expectation. I don't know if this is expectation. I might be looking at the word wrong, but I was hoping that they didn't over comic or make Aquaman too comical in the movie. Is that an expectation?
That's actually
it's something you were. You didn't want him like the campy 61, basically.
Oh yeah, basically, and I didn't get that, so I was pretty happy about that.
Okay, I can understand that.
I had expectation.
What?
I actually did have expectations.
What type?
What was your expectation?
I just didn't want it to be just a super flop. So that could be an expectation. I didn't come in here thinking that it was going to be super shitty. But like I was hearing good things at first, like the week before, and then towards Thursday, and then they said, "Oh well, Justice League is officially rotten." So like, whoop, what the hell happened from last week to this week? Because this seems to happen with movies like this that people don't have expectations for at all. So I was just hoping that it just wasn't going to be a super freaking flop. So
I was just hoping it was going to be better than Batman v Superman because I didn't really know what to expect going into that, but I was very disappointed as to how unorganized it was. So I was expecting it had to be better than BVS. So I get in that regard, it exceeded expectations. I didn't have any just because at this point, the only real origin story we've seen is Wonder Woman. So they kind of just threw all the characters in the movie, and I was worried about that, especially when I seen the movie clocked in at only an hour and a half. So I was like, how are they going to introduce all these diverse characters and then still have a cohesive plot and all this other stuff? So I had low expectations for it. And I came out of the movie. It was all right. I'm glad I had low expectations. It was all right. But Ethos, what about you?
It was cool. I liked it.
Oh my god. I hate this, man. I really do.
Oh my god.
I went into it with no expectation, and I came out like, it was alright. It was cool.
All right, so I wanted to bring up a topic if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Ethos is leading it. Which you kind of mentioned it already. I think that's a good something to talk about. The fact that the movie only clocked in about maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more, give or take, and they had to basically put everybody's story in. And you made a great point about how we only got really one good origin story, which is from Wonder Woman. How do you feel about Cyborg and Aquaman and the Flash being into this movie now? And did they incorporate anything from the TV series? Because I don't watch it, so I know you, TPH, watch it. What were your thoughts behind that?
I was a little disappointed that Cyborg was just the angry black guy. And then like Barry barely knew how to control his powers. Like it was a very young Justice League. Like it seemed like everybody had just got their powers, and I was a little confused by that. I was like, I didn't understand the timeline of this entire story, because the thing is, like, the Batman and in this movie, in this universe, he's an older Batman. I mean, they even mentioned in the movie that he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, when he got destroyed.
So it's like he's an older Batman, but then Barry just existed and Cyborg just happened too. Like I didn't really understand the timeline. That was kind of one of my critiques. Did that confuse anybody else?
Yeah,
I feel like they're still trying to sort things out in terms of like timeline. Like Because I feel like I'm not too up on DC lore, but I feel like Cyborg started out that way. Like he wasn't like as happy-go-lucky as we might know him in like in
he was like that.
Yeah, so he did kind of start out like that. So yeah, it seemed like everyone was just kind of finding their footing, and obviously Batman's been like fighting crime for like 20 plus years. They said in the movie. So I feel like DC is still trying to sort out the timelines as far as their movie universe goes, and like. It kind of I don't want to bring up Marvel, but it's just
you have to. It's hard.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's just hard. Like it really would have been better if they had actually taken the time to do some setup with some of these movies. Like you already have your Man of Steel, your Superman movie. You do your standalone Batman, your Wonder Woman, and then throw maybe an Aquaman in there. Then you bring in Justice League and all that other stuff, so you can actually get some backstory on these characters. And so when they come together to fight the big threat, it's like, okay, now there's some stakes, and I get enough information on them backstory wise. So yeah, I just think they're just trying to sort some stuff out, but I think it's moving in the right direction though overall.
I guess.
Anybody else?
JG, you haven't really said much.
Yeah. So obviously this movie was rushed, and it seemed like the only person besides Wonder Woman, since she had an entire movie, the only person that was really war ready was Aquaman, because he obviously been protecting his area for a while now. I definitely agree with Barry Allen and Cyborg. They were very, very new, like out of the nutsack new as far as like doing any as far as doing any crime fighting.
That's one way to put it.
Barry Allen even admitted.
Well, Barry said all he's ever done is push somebody.
Push people.
What?
Yeah,
he kept it real.
He clearly was not ready to fight anybody. And Cyborg was just angry. He was like, I ain't trying to mess with nobody. I don't even know why I'm still alive. Like, why did you save me? You made me into a monster. Da da da. You didn't like your dad. You didn't like anybody. So like Aquaman was the only other person who was like I don't want to team up with you. Like I just want to keep doing my thing, and I know my my history and what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then he finally ended up coming on board. So it was just weird. Like everything was super rushed, and then it just really makes me understand why you can't add like other characters to the Justice League quite yet, because you haven't even fully fleshed out this Justice League right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't necessarily. Maybe this is just me with Barry Allen. I didn't necessarily like how he acted or how he I don't know. I just felt like he was pretty corny in my opinion.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I thought it was all right.
I thought he was very. I thought he was very corny in my opinion. And I know that I haven't watched this stuff on the TV series and whatnot in the series or whatever. But just his character overall, I think is very corny. And maybe this is just me being very typical, being hypocritical. But did his running bother anybody else?
He had terrible. He had terrible form.
Okay, and I'll say this is probably the track athlete in me, but that shit was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Arms were like Conor McGregor flailing like he was running. It just looked so.
He's raw. He's very raw. It
just looked so wrong.
He gonna figure it out.
Match up with the corny CG you got too. It just didn't look right.
But Marvel did it better with Quicksilver, and even the actual Flash series did it better.
Absolutely. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but did you guys notice that besides JG? I just thought that I overall thought the character in general was just really corny. I feel like they didn't do him right at all.
I thought he had funny moments. I wouldn't call him flat out corny. I would just say once again, it made the timeline confusing because in my opinion, he was acting more like Wally West than he was Barry with the whole goofy attitude and shit. Mm-hmm. Like I said, most people don't know in the Justice League cartoon that Flash that was in the Justice League, that was Wally. That was Wally, and he was goofy, and it wasn't Barry. So then it's and then to make things worse, Batman's been fighting crime for 20 years. Wally West is younger than Barry. He was the little kid, and this I don't know. The timeline just it's rushed when I think about it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It felt like they were combining characters basically.
Yeah, in terms of the Flash, though, I thought his character was okay. Again, because I don't really watch the CW Flash either, so I have no idea what that Flash is like. But
he's more serious.
But I thought it was all right that he was the comic relief. Some of his jokes hit, some of them didn't. That's just comedy.
He was just the comic relief. It worked at some point, like he said.
And I thought the fact that he was socially awkward and had anxiety, I thought that was charming. But
I'll give him that. I thought that was kind of cool. The one joke they had with him and Wonder Woman was just. Bruh, they forced that so much when he saved her and was briefly on top of her. And then,
that was an anime trope.
Yeah, we might have to get into that later. Where I think, especially like with Wonder Woman and some like the Amazons, like it felt like since what's her name that did Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins is the director. You can clearly see there's some little bit more fan servicey shots in this movie.
It's a whole bunch of, and they try like, and maybe this is just me, and I saw a couple articles about this, and I actually agree with them. They try to force like some type of tension, like, and I'm talking physical tension with Batman and Wonder
sexual
Woman.
tension.
I was going to say, so I'm not the only one that since like Wonder Woman felt more sexualized in the movie, instead of just like badass.
And I didn't like that
because I
to be fair, they did have a relationship in the cartoon. So
yeah, that is
which is why I allowed it.
Which is why I allowed
it. But I just think I didn't like it being how it was portrayed in like this movie. I felt like there's different ways you could do it. Like sometimes I kind of seemed like it was kind of more forced than anything like that. And plus, like after watching Wonder Woman and seeing how she was, because even when she was like that with her love of her life, I think his character's name was Steve. She wasn't Trevor. She wasn't even like that with him, and she was in love with the man. So why isn't there a way to?
I don't think what he's saying, Ethos, is that like her and Batman had a little tension between. I think it's the fact that it's that, and then the whole Barry landing on top of her. It was like she just got sexualized instead of being a badass.
Exactly.
And they use cliches with her too much.
Yeah. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, like I could distinctly remember like two instances where they were like blatant butt shots. I'm like, really? Is this what we doing now?
Yeah, there's a bunch of those in there.
This is what I needed.
Yeah, she ain't even got no butt for real. She's more of a
okay.
Jay-Z said, let's really talk about it. She don't even got no ass.
No, stop. We were doing so well until
let's talk about the real issue.
Hey, bro, I'm speaking facts, though. I'm speaking facts.
It ain't nothing wrong with a little eye candy. It's just weird going from Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman, they absolutely did not sexualize her. She was just a badass. And like they kind of flipped it in this one.
True.
Like, I can understand why it was kind of a disconnect on the characters. How'd y'all feel about the overall?
I'm so disappointed in you, JG.
How'd y'all feel about the overall plot with the mother boxes and Heimendinger or whatever that dude's name is? How'd y'all feel about Steppenwolf? I didn't know what the fuck Yo, I'm not gonna. Yo, listen. I don't remember every character's name because I'm not gonna lie. There was some point in the movie where I almost fell asleep, bro. I started nodding off.
It's some German shit.
It was some German shit because in the middle of the movie it got boring to me. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
This nigga said a League of Legends character. I'm so.
Whatever, bro. How'd y'all feel about the whole mother box plot bringing them together?
It worked.
It did work. Yep.
That's all it was supposed to do. That's all.
I'm not mad at it.
It was a very simple plot, but at the same, Steppenwolf was a trash villain. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. When Superman came, that nigga got worked.
It wasn't even that. I think the one redeeming thing that he did was when he first pulled up on Themyscira, and he was getting, that whole chase scene.
Fucked him.
That was his best scene. To be real with you.
Definitely. Well, that and then also like the very first battle, like back in like ancient times, like all the gods and the Amazonians and the Atlanteans and stuff. There's even like a little Green Lantern cameo in there.
Yep. I saw that.
I peeped.
Overall, I thought the plot was simple enough, but just to kind of go back to what we were talking about with the length, I think it was only like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm interested to see if there's going to be a director's cut, because I don't know if y'all knew this, but WB demanded that it be, because I think Zack Snyder and them had more footage. Like it was originally supposed to be like 2.5 hours, but WB demanded that it be cut out because they were terrified of people complaining, Batman v Superman was too long, Suicide Squad was too long, so WB mandated that it be cut, and they got,
I'm not gonna lie,
like an hour and a half.
I'm not mad at them cutting footage, and I'm interested in seeing a director's cut, but I'm not mad at them cutting footage, because like those, I don't know about y'all, but those scenes in the middle of the movie when Superman, first of all, let's talk about this, okay?
Oh yeah,
Superman's not dead. Nobody even thought he was dead. This whole lead up to him coming back, and then after they resurrect Superman, they have him standing in the cornfield, hanging out with his mom at his house and shit. All those extra scenes of Superman.
Before you even get to that,
the ending of Superman,
that's when I started falling asleep.
Yeah, BVS.
We gotta go back to that.
Disrespecting, because we're not gonna act like that 1v5 fight wasn't lit.
No, that was cool. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about after they resurrected him, and then they were cool. I'm talking about when he was standing in the cornfield, kissing with Lois. I'm like, yo, the world's on fire, bro. That bitch can wait. That bitch can wait, bro.
The one thing
your mom's mortgage can wait, my nigga.
The nigga just had to get his psyche back. Yeah, let him get his psyche back.
This shit was boring, bro.
He had to get his shit together.
But while we're on that topic, though, I kind of don't like how they resurrected him. Like they just pretty much like grave robbed his corpse and then took him to like that Kryptonian mothership, which has been active this whole fucking time. Like any nigga can just walk up in there and do whatever they need to do. Like I felt that's kind of interesting.
I mean, it was intricate because the Flash had to run and electrify the cube at the right moment and everything like that. But can we talk about the end of Batman versus Superman when we saw him go in the coffin and then when they showed in the coffin that there was dirt rising. So then what was that about?
This movie pretty much retconned that.
Yeah. So in the comic books, Kryptonians basically go through what they call Kryptonian sleep. Like it's basically he was in a coma. Yeah. He was never dead. So this movie said he was dead though. So yeah, they fucked up the script with that shit right there.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that was just the perception of the other characters because they didn't know what that was. So they assumed that he died. Like Batman assumed he was dead. That's why he.
But the point is he wasn't dead though.
Yeah, so how do you resurrect somebody that's not dead?
But because they didn't.
It's like they did it. It's like shocking them and to wake them up. It's so like that's what they did.
They jump started them. Then.
Yeah, they jumped. Yeah. They hit him with like how you jump start a car. They boost him and then
no. I can't accept that because
they mentioned it because Batman even said he was like, wait, this nigga gets grown from the he revives himself from the sun. He's like, so we just need to hit him with something powerful like a sun.
Like, I get that, but I understand that the fact that the memory loss and made us, and they kept saying that he had died and he had come back, and there was jokes about him saying I don't want to be dead again and everything like that. And they made it seem like he was a corpse and he had no mind or anything like that. That's why we got the corny scene in the cornfield with Lois and everything like that. If the nigga was still alive, he shouldn't have to remember that much. Like he had no brain or anything.
Hey, hold on. And correct me if I'm wrong.
So how you supposed to tell that nigga Superman what he's supposed to be and feel like? Like let that nigga.
But no, how about this? I don't 100% remember. Wasn't it Doomsday that killed him in Batman vs Superman?
Yeah.
So why was he mad at everybody when he was resurrected?
Exactly.
Thank you, Batman.
Why was he mad at? Because remember in Batman versus Superman, they found out their mother's name were the same, and they're like, "Oh, let's be friends." And so he comes back and he's mad at Batman again. Like now that I think about it, this movie was not that good, bro. Like when you really start breaking it down, this shit kind of sucked, bro.
There's plot holes all over the place.
So explain to me, Ethos, why he was mad. Why he was mad at everybody.
Yeah, he
didn't even know Cyborg. He didn't even know Barry.
Well, in his defense, when it comes to those two, that was the defensive mechanism that triggered off of Cyborg. So he felt he was threatened. Well, in his defense of that. In regards of why he did it, I mean, like I said, nigga, you ain't been in a coma a long time and woke up and just feel threatened. And also, that was another thing. They kind of hinted. They kind of hinted. They don't explain it specifically, but what I'm guessing is, so you know how he woke up, he couldn't. His powers were like all reactivating at once, like over like a reboot sequence. So because it's like first you got to get your body back, then you got to get your superpowers back online, and stuff like that, and then you get, I guess, your psyche back. That's what.
So he was groggy.
Like he's like groggy like that. When you wake up off a long scene, your eyes are adjusting and shit. And I'm assuming because you remember when he looked at them, he saw skeletons and stuff. So he could have. So I'm not saying this is it, but I'm saying it could have been he saw them as like not human. Like he saw them as like
he was checking their heart, cuz, and then he saw Cyborg, and he was like,
and then Cyborg literally activates defenses because you got to remember Cyborg system reacts similar to like Blue Beetle. It reacts to like threat, and it was like, yo, like this nigga's like he's searching you, like he might try to kill you.
And I get that.
I can't take that though, fam.
Yeah, but they did not do a good job explaining.
They did a good job. I'm not saying they did a good job saying it. I'm just saying from what I gathered, that's what I.
And then they had that bullshit of what calmed him down, Lois Lane. Now, if I'm mad as shit that I can't even think straight, the last thing that's gonna calm me down is a woman, bro, because she's just gonna talk, bro. That's just gonna make me mad.
What about
Stop it.
Get the fuck out of here with that
shit. If you've been in a coma for 20 years, you about to get offered some box. You tell me that's not gonna calm you down.
Wait, he wasn't in a coma for 20 years. He was gone for a year.
We're not having this conversation.
But a coma feels longer than just like a year. You wake up from a coma.
I'm not in here.
No, Ace, you here?
Whatever, bro.
Whoa.
Tweet Ace of all trades. This is Ace's idea.
Fam.
Ace was so excited to do this video.
The thoughts of the Black Hokage.
I didn't even want to be here.
I definitely don't reflect on Ace of all trades Enterprise. So just go ahead.
Yeah,
you doing Enterprise now?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Damn.
Yep, Ace is gone though. Confirmed.
Ace betraying us. Goddamn, boy.
Hollywood.
Nah, fam. Nah, but chill. We're not gonna have that conversation.
Hey, yo, but Marty, dog, how you feel, dog?
Right.
I thought that specific scene was actually pretty badass because I thought a secret weapon was like, a fucking maybe a bazooka filled with kryptonite or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I was
it twisted on us right there. So I enjoyed that scene.
Because I know everybody there thought for a second that he was gonna have kryptonite. Like, I swore it was gonna be like he was gonna pull out kryptonite and calm him down with that shit.
I thought Batman was.
It was Lois, and I was
if
like,
y'all are at y'all maddest peak, the maddest that you can be y'all telling me that a woman would calm you down, a woman who starts talking a lot,
a woman that he loves.
I can understand. All right, I'm gonna start this down.
That's his day, dog.
No, stop.
I need some time to myself, bro.
Stop. Because everybody, the one thing that always calmed Superman down was Lois Lane.
And this is why I don't like Superman, man. Superman's a motherfucking sucker, bro.
Bro,
he's the boy.
oh my god, this man TBH, bro.
Fuck Superman. I'm not a fan. I am a Superman hater.
I was telling some friends like that's his second kryptonite right there, Lois Lane.
Most powerful man on earth succumbed to some damn pussy.
TBH, you remember in Injustice when Lois Lane gets killed by Joker? You know that nigga lost.
We ain't supposed to be loving these hoes, bro.
That nigga literally enslaved the earth over that shit.
So I have a question about that. So you remember in Batman v Superman where Bruce was like dreaming or something, and Flash went back in time and said, "Lois is the key."
Yeah.
Am I too early? So
no, that's it.
Yeah. So
why
was he referencing that, or
that's why he picked her. Yeah,
I believe he was referencing that.
It's like that. I think it's like Batman v Superman.
That's so weak, though.
But I feel like they did cool little threads between Batman and Superman, and then if you pay attention to them in Justice League, you're like, oh, I see what you did there, or it makes sense. There's plot holes, but I think that there was care done to this movie. Like, I don't think they were like, it felt a little rushed in areas, but I do feel like when I was watching the entire thing, I just felt overall like it didn't feel like the movie took itself too seriously and it had to be this ultra realistic, like dark, overtoned, depressing ass film. It was like it was able to make fun of itself, and it just did a superhero movie, and it was like, okay, it's fun. And I said this when I was on Twitter about it. I was like, I feel like this game is just really targeted towards people who love the cartoon. Game? Oh, movie.
Game. Yeah.
Game?
We're not talking about Injustice.
No.
The game. We're talking about
I'm talking about the cartoon. So the 2000 like there's a lot of parallels between this movie and the cartoons. Like when I looked it back, and because when I got back, I was watching some Justice League like cartoon shows episodes, and like the structure of the movie is a lot like how the cartoon shows were. Like I'm very close to it, and I was like, I think I get what they were trying to do. They were, and a lot of people have this, and I don't know if everybody else did, but I just had this sentiment that like, I grew up as a kid with these dudes like as cartoons on the screen, and then like when I saw the movie, I got older, but like I still felt that same feeling that I felt when I was watching it as a kid. I was just like it just pulled out all the stops that I wanted. Was it perfect? No. Was it like better than probably what Avengers? No. But like, was it better than a lot of the other shit DC dropped? Yeah.
Yep.
Does it make me feel more like? Does it make me, when I came out of the theater? How did I feel? I felt good. Like I legitimately laughed while watching this movie. Like it was just good fun. It wasn't.
It was a lot more put together than Batman v Superman.
Yeah. It was like Batman v Superman was like, I had to get out of the theater and I just had to think through everything.
I was confused when I was watching everything. Yeah. I was confused, like, what's going on?
I had to really siphon through it. Like this movie, I just went in, I just sat down, I watched it, and I was like, I literally like turned to my friend. I was like, huh. I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fun. Cool.
Yeah. One more thing on Superman before we move on. When that fight happened, does anyone else get like, this may have been just me, but like I was getting the feeling like they still want to do Injustice at some point.
Yeah, you can tell because like the dialogue between Superman and Batman, which is the reason why I said this whole he wasn't dead thing, but then he was dead thing would bother me so much because he specifically told Batman, "You won't let me live, you won't let me die. I want to see you bleed. Can you bleed or something along those lines?" I get that too.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think it's more of this is what I've said, and this is Warner Bros. If you watching, dog, this is. I think I said, I said this during one of the videos. I forgot we were talking about. Something we were talking. I forgot we were talking about something about DC or something. I think it was you, TBH, and me and Anon. And I said DC can literally save their entire. Like they could make the universe lit if they follow the Flashpoint paradox. They're already following it, but I'm saying like Flash is the key. Like Flash, like you already know about it, TBH. Like Flash is literally God. If they're smart, this Flash standalone, he resets the universe or changes it to a different timeline. If they do that, they can literally fix every fucking mistake they've made for the past 4 DC movies. Like all of it's white clean. You don't need to forget because it's like the same thing like what X-Men did. Remember Days of Future Past? Like everybody loved it because they literally wiped away all the problems of their previous films with it. And it's like they do the exact same thing with Flash. Like have Flash do the Injustice timeline and also the Flashpoint timeline. He resets everything and it resets to the Injustice timeline. So I'm thinking they should do it like literally do the Flashpoint, have Darkseid pull up because they gotta have Darkseid pull up. So they're gonna do like the Doom movie next. That's what they hinted at. So
Legion of Doom, yeah.
Yeah, Legion of Doom is next. That's when basically Batman's like, yo, fuck this shit, I'm out. And all the superheroes get their contingency plans fucked up. Then then Flash is gonna have to do the Flashpoint paradox. And when they do that, Darkseid's gonna be involved. And in order for Barry to save the timeline, because Darkseid's probably gonna kill everybody, he's gonna go to a different timeline and reset everything. And then literally they're going to they'll fix the aging problem with Batman. Because if Affleck's gonna die, there's only 2 things if Affleck wants to be done, there's only 2 things they can do. Either 1, they reset the timeline with a younger Batman, or B, they do Batman Beyond, which would be lit as shit. I hope they do Batman Beyond, but
I don't think they have the foresight to do that, to be honest.
They don't.
It literally wouldn't. Regardless if they reset the timeline, it literally wouldn't make sense if they did Batman Beyond. He was never in the Justice League.
I'm saying you could change it around. No, he was in the Justice League technically. In the cartoon, in the cartoon,
did I miss that one?
Yeah, I must have.
I must have missed
that. In the future, they remember the Justice League. They go into the future, and Static goes in the future, and he sees his future self. The Justice League is brought.
But that was a different Justice League, though.
Right.
It was them from the future.
All this multiverse shit.
Yeah, it's a lot more this shit. The point is, there was a Justice League in the future.
Man, where Infinity War at?
Batman was part of it. The Beyond one.
Can we talk about? Can we talk about how once again we are getting into another situation? It's like the same thing, like with Spider-Man with Marvel, and then Batman with DC. Once again, we have Ben Affleck saying, "I don't want to do it anymore," and then it just.
Hold on, why does he not want to be Batman anymore?
He said it again.
I bet you it's because of Batman v Superman. I bet you he thought it was going to be lit.
But he did all right. He found out the pressure.
Yeah, he actually did. He actually did do all right.
No, I think like he was the best part of the film, but I think it's just like one of those like negative marks on your career. It's like when people clown George Clooney about Batman nipples. It's like it's some blemish on his on his acting career.
Hold on, what?
You don't remember George Clooney's Batman had nipples on his armor and nobody understood why there was nipples.
People clown him for it.
I remember
that. So no matter what, they always bring up to him.
I must have forgot that for a reason.
Yeah, they're good for you. You don't want to remember that shit. But it's like something that's always a blemish on your acting career. And I feel like maybe I don't agree with it because I think
he's trying to distance himself from that now.
Yeah, I feel like he feels like Batman v Superman is like a blemish on his acting career. He kind of wants to step away from that. But
man, did he forget G-Lee? Are you kidding me, bro?
I thought he did great on it. I feel like he's one of the best Batmans.
Yeah,
I don't.
He did way better than I thought.
This is absolutely not a blemish on his career.
It helps him. I think so.
The man's got issues. I don't know. Whatever he's on, whatever.
He mess around with J-Lo, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that was years ago, wasn't it?
It don't matter. You probably still tripping.
I don't know what it is. He's on something.
But one thing that's actually getting a lot of talk since I watched other people listen to other people's reviews. Did anyone notice anything odd about Superman's face?
It did look CG.
Yeah. Well, because y'all know the story behind that, because he's going to be in Mission Impossible 6, and his character is going to have a mustache, and apparently there's like timing issues with filming that and Justice League, so they CGI'd out the mustache, but apparently like it was like noticeable in a lot of shots. Personally, I didn't really see it because I had totally forgot about it by the time I walked into the theater.
I didn't see
but like I feel like a huge talking point with a lot of.
No, I definitely noticed that his face was CG all throughout the movie. I thought that I didn't understand that. I thought I didn't know the mustache thing. I thought maybe they were just trying to I don't know, Photoshop him because he's supposed to be like the clean faced pretty boy. So I thought maybe they were just trying to give him that little, you know how they be, smoothing out the girls' booties on IG and shit with the Photoshop. So I thought, it'd be like, bitch, I know you got stretch marks. I thought it was the same shit. Like, just trying to smooth his face out.
They're trying to hide his mustache, bro.
That's crazy.
Mustache.
But that was definitely noticeable if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah. CG overall.
I definitely didn't notice that.
Yeah, the CG overall was not all
that was
that
one of the
good.
worst.
That's what
worth that $300 million.
Yeah, right. That's what the Barry scenes when he was running and everything like that. Not the fact that he was just running so awkwardly. It just looked so corny. And I think somebody told me the other day like they did that on purpose. Nah, fam, they tried.
For what? What kind of idea was that?
Right, like they tried and it just looked horrible. And I want DC to be great. I mean, I have no problem with DC, but it's just like if you're gonna execute it right. I don't know.
I think
right, for sure.
They'll do it. We'll see the next movie.
Yeah, I think this was a step in the right direction. Like, I'm excited for what they're going to do in the future. Like that whole, when that whole post credit scene.
When that nigga pulled up,
when Deathstroke pulled up, I was like,
that was lit.
Like no one
people
can
were
say
clapping in my movie theater for this.
Yeah, like nigga,
nobody was in my movie theater because everybody left, but me. I was like,
who does that for superhero movies?
We can have this conversation every time we do a review. Stop leaving movies like that unless you know they're not gonna have a cutscene. Stop leaving the theater until
some people just don't care. You can't get mad at them. They just don't care.
Ace, it's called Google, my nigga, or they maybe already saw the movie and they already know what's gonna happen.
But this is opening night, though.
People like spoiling it for themselves.
I don't like doing that.
Yeah, but like I said, it has me excited for the future because Deathstroke looked lit, and then Lex
his costume looked dope. Like they did his costume back.
And then Jesse Eisenberg's look. I didn't like him at all in BVS, but it seemed like he's owning it more. Like he feels like he's like mature now. Like he's getting into that more Lex that we're used to seeing.
Put on like another 100 pounds or whatever. So
I don't know about all. I think he can pull it off because like I was telling people, like in BVS, I didn't mind the character. He did a good job of what he was given. Just what he was given was trash. But now I feel like they've kind of rewritten that character a little bit to make him more imposing, more serious, and not cracking jokes and putting Jolly Ranchers in niggas' mouths and shit.
I forgot
he's still on watch. He reminds me more of the Joker than Lex Luthor. Like he's still on watch for me.
But I think they're trying to get away from that though with what I saw in that post credit scene. So I'm hoping that he'll be more
authoritarian. Compared to
so but Legion of Doom, that'd be lit. So that has me excited for the future.
Because I think at the end of the day, it was like after seeing Batman v Superman, did anybody leave the movie theater excited for the next thing?
Absolutely not.
No.
Like this movie,
I said, okay, it was fine. Whatever.
My eyes lit up when I saw that nigga Deathstroke pull up. I was like,
I leaned over to my buddy. I was like, I think that's Deathstroke.
Yeah, and then it was like just the biggest because it made you feel like a Marvel ending because it was like
exactly.
It was like, oh, I'm thinking about putting together a team, and then anybody who watched the cartoon or anybody who read the comics already know where that goes, and you're just like, oh my god. Like that's gonna be fucking lit. And then the coolest part is if they do Doom, like Darkseid is still a strong element. Like he's still the main. Like he's
their Thanos.
Like when that nigga literally has hacks. Like he's literally a hacker, hacker of the fucking entire universe. So I don't know.
Are any of y'all disappointed that we didn't get to see Darkseid in this one? Because Steppenwolf did mention him like in one line, but I feel like what would have been a nice touch would have been like at the end when Superman was beating his ass and then like all the parademons sensed his fear or whatever, and then took him away in the boom tube. It would have been kind of dope to kind of like hear a voice be like, "You failed me" or something like that,
just wipe him or something like that,
or something like that. Yeah, I think that would have been cool. But
all we need was him dropped off in a dark room and just hear that voice, and then you don't even see it. And all you see is the laser and just kill him.
Yeah, something like that. But Darkseid's still out there. He's gonna pull up eventually. But
fuck Heimendinger.
I just like that was a little bit too much for them because they already rushed with the character. So I know they weren't going to put Darkseid in there, but I like the mention of him though. That at least gives us hope.
Yeah. Did we talk about Aquaman at all?
I was just
his CG was straight trash, boy.
Can we talk about how his character reminded me of? I feel like they made Aquaman to directly compete with Thor as far as like that big like brawly badass dude who
with the hair
doesn't know much about like the world, like the real world and stuff. Yeah, but he was even more corny than Thor was. Thor was a funny corny. I feel like Aquaman just wasn't funny to me. He didn't hit like I thought he would.
Yeah, he suffered the most in this movie, I think.
He did.
I mean,
no.
But how though? Because I was thinking they were gonna make him the comedic relief in the movie, but I didn't want him to be the comedic relief in the movie. I wanted him to be a fucking badass.
Well, he had badass moments, but I feel like he didn't have enough, and there wasn't enough in his backstory. Like we had that one little scene after Steppenwolf got the mother box from there, and like he was talking to Mira. But like outside of that, like there really wasn't much to really go off in terms of backstory. Well, I guess we're gonna get because I think that's the next movie on the slate is Aquaman.
He was actually part of one of those scenes that they were trying to sexualize Wonder Woman when she put the rope on him, and she's like he was talking about her legs and shit like that. And I'm just he barely had any dialogue in the movie. I'm like, this is what y'all.
I thought that was funny. Yeah,
I thought he accidentally sat on that. I actually really liked that scene.
I thought it was funny. I like that scene.
Yeah, whatever. About
I thought it was well thought out.
I was whatever.
That was actually one of those things that I did like. I'm not gonna love it.
I
like that. Cool. But other than that, though, I didn't really feel Aquaman to be like tight to me. Like I didn't think he was that tight as like how they portrayed him when we first saw him in the trailer.
I guess I'm getting at like he didn't really talk much. He wasn't really there in the movie. And then a few times he gets to talk, it was just a stupid scene to me. And I'm just like, can we get more of him?
He was like, so Batsuit, huh? Like, and it's
so you really are a Batman. By
the way, he said that
great dialogue.
He said that around a bunch of civilians, right? So don't them niggas know?
Oh, that was the part, when they were in the fish town. He's like, so you're Batman. I'm like, whoa, like.
You can't say that out loud, my guy.
If they were whispering, I could understand, but he was pretty loud, bro.
Like, I gotta kill you now. You know who these niggas know who I am.
Right. Now we know why he wants to retire the Batman role. He said, everybody knows who I am. Well,
I just kind of found it weird how he like searched for him as Bruce Wayne, but everybody knew he was Batman though. Like it was weird as hell just him doing that. Like you didn't really want to hide your identity in that moment.
Can we talk about that nigga's Mercedes Benz though?
It was fire.
I heard, didn't they custom make it for that movie?
Yeah, it was custom made.
Really?
And now what? They're done filming. Now what?
Right.
They're
gonna auction it off to somebody. You know somebody's gonna buy that.
Give it to me.
Man. I ain't gonna
You got money like that, Ethos? You know?
He got $1,400 monitors.
Set up a stream.
So how did you all feel about the last fight scene? Everybody going against that.
That's when I started falling asleep again. I ain't gonna lie. The CG was just so fucking terrible, and it was just.
With all like what were those things that kept sprouting out of the ground?
So that was, I guess, like from the boxes and everything like that. Like I guess the purpose behind them originally were to give life, but I guess when you combine all three of them together, even though it's trying to like replenish the area wherever it's at, instead of it replenishing, there's some reaction where it actually destroys everything. And the fact that once they actually stopped everything at the end, that's why you saw that entire area filled with flowers, with or whatever fruits and all that, and it was plentiful. And that's
corny as hell, to be honest.
Yeah, that was weird too. It was like, why are there flowers?
That upset me. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Hey man, I mean, I didn't direct
but
it.
yeah, in terms of the final fight scene, it was okay, I guess. Like I can't really. I'm thinking about it right now.
Came and it just OP. Because afterwards.
Yeah, it's Superman, bro. Like, when does Superman ever have a really bad time?
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of did like seeing him OP because you got to see everything.
I did
like
too.
The super strength, the heat vision, the ice breath, all that stuff.
I liked it.
You ain't gonna lie. When this nigga Flash thought he could outrun Superman, and this nigga.
That's what I thought was dope. I thought
that was
fire, boy.
He was looking at him like, nigga.
He was funny.
Flash was shook.
I was
like,
that whole scene was badass. I thought because it was.
He's like
that was the best fight in the whole movie. Like when him and Wonder Woman traded headbutts, and then Superman take it up a notch and put her into the ground. Oh dear.
That shit was fire, me. I ain't go fire.
Batman came back all bruised up and everything, and then we got forced to see the.
When the nigga just said, "Do you bleed?" and beat this nigga, and he was like, "Yeah, I do." That shit was like, nigga, that shit had me crying, boy.
But I guess that's what we feel about the last fight scene because we went back to the Superman fight.
Right. There you go.
I thought that scene at Lightspeed was fucking badass too.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was funny when that nigga said, "Yo, is this nigga bothering you?" And then he gets the wall. That shit was pretty funny.
But
but he comes to the job. I like seeing an overpowered Superman. I think that was pretty cool to see for once. Yeah. The one thing though I didn't understand. This is the one part of the movie I just cannot forgive is why the fuck do they focus so much on that Russian family?
think it gives some normal.
I think they lived under the God box, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
The human God box. That's all that was.
And they make it.
Remember the human? They buried the human God box, and it just so happened that family lived above it.
Yeah,
no, they were never.
They called it the lost human God box. It was never there?
No,
that's not it.
No,
I thought it was there. That's why that's why they were there.
No,
I thought Cyborg had a connection with the God boxes. It wasn't in there.
Cyborg, when Cyborg dipped, he literally was like, did this nigga dip us? And he actually jumped back. He had a case, and he was like, Star Labs has the motherboard.
No, the reason why that family was into the scene is because that area was a desolate area due to the nuclear wars.
But
and
why?
That family happened to live there, and they talked about it.
But were they necessary? They weren't necessary.
They weren't necessary whatsoever.
They were the craziest scene to me was when the little girl grabbed the bug spray. I was like, "Are you going to use it? Like, what are we doing here?" They literally did not even.
That was meant for comic relief.
No. But it's not funny though. They didn't even pan back to the.
Think of it like this, Ace. The movie already got chopped time-wise. You wasted 10 minutes of the movie showing the most pointless shit. Which, okay, it would have been cool if at the end the fucking kid, you find out the kid has superpowers or is one of the superheroes as a kid. That would have been like, okay, it makes sense why you made us watch this kid. But because like she's not like what was the name of the girl that can scream?
Black Canary.
Black Canary. She's not Black Canary. She's no superhero that we know, or she's none. It's like, what's your purpose? Why are you even in the movie?
They were there to give out that sense of true danger, like they're actual innocent. Yeah, they're innocent people in danger.
Man, slam dunk that shit in the trash because
they literally spent way too much time on it.
Too much time with them. You could put them at the end.
You literally could have just had the scene at the end where Flash and Superman went to go save them. You could have just had.
Yeah, Blitz. Let me ask you, my nigga. When they ran out of the house to get into their car, were you surprised as well when all of a sudden all these other fucking people came out of nowhere and started running as well?
Yeah, I thought it was just them. I thought it was just them.
I thought they were going to be the only ones. Oh no!
Where did all these people come from?
Apparently Superman saved a whole building full of people.
That was funny. That was kind of wild.
So what are y'all doing? Why are y'all still there though? That's still the point. Why are y'all still there?
Because Batman had lured all the parademons out the way with that speaker.
Right. So y'all could have left.
Yeah, if I could really think about it, compare this to a Marvel, I would say this is very close to Ultron. Like, I would say
Age of Ultron. Yeah, I could see
it. Reminds me a lot of Ultron in a lot of ways. So I would say, like, if I had to balance it between a Marvel film, I would say it's right around what Ultron was to me. Which for a Marvel film, Ultron wasn't that good, but I guess compared as like just a regular superhero film, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't like incredible. That's because Marvel's done.
I don't know about all that. That shit was more like Thor 2, nigga. I don't know about this.
No.
Age of Ultron a little too much credit,
Thor
and that wasn't even that good.
Worst Marvel film, not even close.
Did you forget about Iron Man 3? What are you talking about?
Ah, man.
They're equal in my mind. But no, I say Iron Man 3 has a little bit of edge, but like Thor 2 is a snooze fest. I fell asleep 5 times trying to watch that shit.
I cut it off after 30 minutes.
Yeah, that shit was a fucking.
I didn't even see it in theater. I just,
I watched that shit at TV. I couldn't watch it 5 times. It showed up on TV, and 5 times I fell asleep trying to watch it. This shit was trash. Like that shit was horrible. But Batman, I don't know. I just feel like if I had to equate it to a Marvel film, I'd say it reminds me a lot of Ultron, which it's just like right. It's like
I can agree with that.
It's like right there.
Nah, because
hey, let's talk about this Black Panther, my nigga. When is this shit?
Chill. We gotta talk about DC. I guess I'll just let you guys know in the comment section and all that, and listen on YouTube how we really think about this movie. We wasn't trying to trash or anything like that. It was meh.
I think it was decent.
It was decent. It's a step in the right direction. They still got work to do though.
I still say that Wonder Woman is the best DC movie, hands down.
Yeah, that's
hands down.
That's not saying too much, but.
Well, and the only thing that made Wonder Woman bad, the only problem that people had a problem with Wonder Woman is the fact that storyline was just horrible. With like the
Captain America, the female version.
I just didn't like Ares. I didn't like the last. I didn't like the third act.
I didn't like the ending. Like
we're not talking about Wonder Woman. We talking about Justice League. Damn,
we don't care anymore. Wonder Woman's Justice League.
All right, let's give you final thoughts.
I can't agree with that.
What would you give it out of 10?
4 out of 10.
Oh shit! Well,
Justice League?
Are you serious?
I'm just joking. I'll give it a 5.5.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Blitz, what's your score?
I give it a 7.
I give it a 7 as well. JG?
It was just average. It was average.
You crazy, Blitz. Ace, you crazy. JG, what's your score?
6.5.
All right, that's fair. Marty, what's your score?
Let me ask you a question. Am I giving it a rating?
Just in your own personal enjoyment.
But only rating all the DC movies
Yeah,
together.
just you can base it off of your personal enjoyment of the movie. I don't care if you're basing it whatever.
It was a 9 in my opinion, to be very much honest.
Wow, he's different. He's different.
All right, Black Hokage, go ahead and give it
All right, T-Bitch, give it a 9.1.
No, I give it a 6. It was a 6.
A 6. All right, there you go. So I mean, the average is somebody add that.
Carry the 2.
Math, nigga? What the fuck?
Divide the 4.
Like a 6.5.
Divide the 4 with a 5 over.
I thought we were just gonna rank them. Just like it's not as bad as it's not better than Wonder Woman, but it was better than Suicide Squad and BVS.
There you go.
Better than Wonder Woman, definitely, because the fighting scenes were way better than Wonder Woman.
I actually like Suicide Squad better than this. But that's just me.
Hey, shut up. Okay. Anyway,
you're just a Will Smith fan, girl. Whatever.
Yeah. Shut up, dog.
Oh, what? I think it's better than me in my opinion. Whatever.
But I think the one thing we can say just before ending is like, just because all the negative reviews get like Rotten Tomatoes, like it got a shitty score from critics and whatnot. I feel like I don't think it should dissuade people to go see it, because like I was telling people this, like I feel like those who are hating on this movie, I've already decided to hate it no matter what. So I feel like y'all should at least go out and still see it and give it a chance.
I mean, this review proves it. We just went from a 5 to a 9 out of 10. So it's one of those things. It's polarizing. You got to see it for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Ace is crazy though, so
no, I'm not crazy. I just feel like it's a 5.5. It's okay. It's whatever.
You said a 4 at first. Nah,
that was harsh. I was bullshitting with that, but a 5.5.
Okay. I'm curious, would you give Suicide Squad then?
Honestly, I gave Suicide Squad a 6 to 6.5. I didn't really think it was that much better.
6.
I gave that a 6 too. But that's
damn.
Anyways, we done with this shit. I'm your host, Ethos. These are the rest of my cronies. Make sure you like, favorite, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. And check out our Patreon. TBH, you want to give them a blurb about the Patreon?
That's patreon.com/GI updates. We have all different type of rewards in line for those who choose to financially support us. You can even be in a video like this. Remember, that's patreon.com/GI updates. There'll be a link in the description box below. And yeah, we appreciate everybody for
let it bless you.
Shout out to the Patreon backers. No. Before we end it, man, shout out to Blitz. Shout out to Marty, man. Shout out to y'all for coming through, man. There's your Patreon backers, and you guys already heard TBH, man. So if y'all really want to be a part about it and have some discussions with us, check it out for sure, man. There's a lot of benefits, so check it out.
Join today.
Appreciate us, Fab. Appreciate us coming through.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, cut that shit.